be able to do it myself. Uh,
Right.
but I might be able to make some money with it somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, but again, you doing the goal is like you said to understand the science behind it and then let it take you where it's gonna go.
Just
You
like
know,
I
you
did
never
with that
know.
computer shit.
Right,
Same thing.
exactly. Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right. You understand the science behind it, and having the ability to think outside the box. You know, you might think of something that nobody else
Right.
did.
And
You
that's the
know, so
thing. They don't tell us all like all this shit. They don't tell us about this stuff,
right,
man.
right,
And
right,
it, and
right,
it's
right.
it's a shame.
Well, but as somebody said, and as you find it out, is all there for you is hidden in books. You know, now somebody gonna have to be curious enough, like you're doing now, to pick up the book to even want to know about that stuff. You know, it's gonna take a little bit of that. No, not a little bit. It's gonna take a lot of that.
Right, yeah.
You know, so you know,
Hey, but hey, I got through one book, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Just
yeah. That's what I
finished
said,
these
man.
classes and then
You gonna be
I got a
like Terry
whole
Stark.
I got a whole box of books sitting right here next to me, and I got another box downstairs.
Crazy. All
All
right.
right, everybody. Oh, all right, all right. Everybody, welcome to Real Brothers. Real Brothers for the real world. I'm TL and that's my man Stace.
What's up, y'all?
And tonight we got some topics on deck, and we like to, before we get to those topics, we just want to welcome y'all to our digital neighborhood.
Welcome. That's right.
And Stace, why don't you go ahead and tell us what we talking about tonight?
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Digital Neighborhood, the weekly podcast of the Real Brothers. We are Real Brothers for the real world. Just regular dudes from North Philly getting together, chopping it up, having a good time. Year going strong. We still making it happen. As we talk, as I introduce these topics, TL is going to put the link out there. So we hope that you take this opportunity to click on the link, and if you hear a topic that you want to chime in on, please take this opportunity to do so. All right. Here are the 4 topics that we have. But again, we welcome you to join in on us with us. Um, First topic: are you the person that you thought you'd be? Second, we have Durant in Philly. That's Kevin Durant. Third, we have how do you help people that don't want to be helped? And lastly, are we losing our minds? All right. So those are the 4 topics. Hey, boo. I think that's my baby right there. Say that. Well, it has to be. What's up, baby? Um, those are the 4 topics there. So, like I said, if you want to join in, please click on the link and join us. But before we go, Knight, do you have a random?
Uh, yeah, you know what? I do have a random,
Okay, what you got?
and I want to talk about and this may offend some people, and you know what? If you're offended by what I'm going to say,
Mm.
then this message was for you.
Well,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And there's that part possibly, right? Well, depending on what it
Yeah.
is, 'cause I know you,
Right.
you out there.
So one thing I want to talk about, I want to talk about our selfishness.
Mm. What
Our
about?
selfishness. And I just want to I pause for a reason. I just want you to think about uh I just want y'all to think about what what that means, right?
Mhm, mhm.
When is the last time you did something for someone else?
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, you know, opening the door for somebody or holding the door. I'm
Mhm.
talking about actually did something for
To help
somebody
somebody
other than
else. Right.
yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That you didn't expect something back in return for.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Something
Yeah.
significant.
Right.
A
I
lot
mean,
of
but
people
you.
can't that a lot of people that I mean that's going to have a they're not going to be able to really answer that because the answer is going to be they too
I don't
busy,
know.
you know, chasing their own bag.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, Night and that's I mean that's interesting. But why is that though? I think sometimes though.
Why is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let
I
me
have
say this.
my okay.
I think sometimes, you know, it depends on the type of help it is. Sometimes you can put yourself out there helping someone and run the risk of getting burned. You know, that happens. You know, that happens. So I don't, I think you have to be careful with the help that you offer or the way that you put yourself out there. But then most of the times, helping somebody might be a matter of putting in a good word or something.
That's what
So
that's what I mean. See, I was just about to say, when I say helping somebody, it doesn't always see that's where our head is at.
yeah,
Instantly we go to
it might hurt.
punching our
Right. Yo.
what I'm saying is, like, when the that you knew was going through some shit and was just
Right.
like, yo, man, I'm just here to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
or your family. I ain't talking about when, at the funeral. I'm not
Right.
talking about,
Absolutely.
like, at the hospital. I'm talking about just, you know, man, somebody that's in your phone
Day to
contact that
day.
you ain't
Yeah.
seen in a while. Hey,
Yeah.
bro, what's up? Well, hey, sis, I'm just calling because you know, what I mean, I was
I
thinking
thought
about
about you.
you,
Right.
wondering
Yeah.
how you doing. Hey, brighten somebody. You don't know how
Yeah.
that might change somebody's day, man.
I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
it's like even the conversation that you and I had the other day, Thursday, we were having our little pre-production, and you asked me a question, and even having that little conversation that we did, I hung up, and that helps. That helps because
That's what I'm saying. Like,
sometimes the worst, the when you're in a place, the worst thing about being in that place is feeling like you're there by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're not understood, or that you don't have somebody that you can vent to. If venting is the appropriate word for this, something, to hear you out. Sometimes that's the worst. So
right,
you keep it in, and we do that, especially as men. You keep it in, you mull it over, and it just nicks at you. It knits at you.
right. And the
So
reason I brought this topic up is because all of the anger that I hear on a daily, that I see on a daily, I mean, just pent up anger for really no reason.
right,
Like,
right,
look at the person that got shot at the Chick-fil-A
yeah,
be, over a milkshake. Come on, a milkshake?
yeah,
Not a
yeah,
milkshake, man. Like,
right,
you know what I mean? And
right,
then you got the people like uh some lady had to jump in front of her kid with a gun at a subway. I
right,
mean, come on, like,
yeah.
people getting mad over petty shit, man, and ready to kill people
But
over nonsense.
but you know what,
Like,
Nike? That's our topic, though. I mean, that's the perfect segue. The topic that we said we were going to discuss is: Are we losing our mind? And
so
I
let's
remember
let's
say it
jump
again.
into it.
I'm,
Let's jump
because
into it.
I remember when we brought that up as far as making it a topic. You brought that up, how someone got shot over a milkshake, and then I heard the other day that somebody got shot in the car because the car in front of them was driving too slow. So the dude got out of the passenger seat and shot the driver of the other car. It's like I'm gonna put that back up there so I can read what that person said. Just a few weeks ago, I took lunch to work, everybody for a week, for myself and a coworker, because I knew she hadn't got her food stamps when she was supposed to. Yo, that's big.
That's
That's
big.
big.
That's
That's
big.
big. I mean,
You might
especially
have
for
just that gesture might have
correct,
changed her whole, you know what I mean,
correct,
just her
correct,
whole
correct,
disposition,
correct. And you never know. And you know what though, Nike, and tying that back into the topic, are we losing our mind? And now, unfortunately, that's what's happening though. Everybody's so wound up that
Right.
it takes any little thing to flip that switch,
Set
and you
people
shoot,
off.
set them up. Right, right. And
Set
with
them
guns
off.
being in the community, or out in society as they are now, everybody has a gun. So when that switch is flipped, the guns come out.
Right.
So it is like we're losing our mind, man.
It's like we losing our minds. And it's the thing is, like, if you feel like somebody has harmed your feelings to the
Mm,
point where you have to actually draw blood or kill
right,
them,
right.
like, that's not saying that there's something wrong with them. That's
Something
saying
you
that there's something wrong with you.
do. That's right. You're out
You
of control. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's nothing that we've been through so much as a people, and
Right.
I'm talking about everybody, but specifically right now, I'm talking about us.
Right. Yeah.
We have been through so much as a people.
Right.
Why why
What
would
could
you
be
even
so bad?
think to
Right.
harm
Right.
another one of your people?
Right.
We
Yeah.
all in this bullshit together.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
But
I
could it
just
be
feel
though,
like I
like,
don't
like,
understand.
especially when you're talking about the ones that are out here causing all the havoc? Unfortunately, the age range is normally mid-teens to mid-20s. That's just
Hmm.
the way that it is. Could it be because they just haven't had to go through hardship, so they don't have that tough skin? Because as my man used to always say, what doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger. So they don't know how to deal with adversity. Could it be that? You know what I
That
mean?
could
And again, with that being said, then we have to then take a look at ourselves, because are we preparing our kids? Are we preparing the next generation the right way? Because we protect them, which we're supposed to, because we don't want them to go through a lot of the hardships that we went through. But at the same time, we learn coping skills because of some of those bad times that we were able to get through. You know what I mean? Yo, Night. I don't know if it's me or TL, but it looks like we stuck somewhere. Yo, Night. All right. Somebody type something in. Can somebody hear me? I don't know if this is on my side or TL side. But anyway, I'm going to send them a quick message. I'm going to send them a quick message because I can't tell if this is me. Oh, so that's That's TL that's froze. All right, so he'll be able to pop back. Somebody click on the link and chime in on this. Yeah, I see he's frozen now. He'll get back
yeah,
on.
yeah. No, that
Okay,
was
you back
you.
on? No,
I
somebody
think.
somebody said
Because I was
you.
still talking.
I know, but somebody said you frozen. Like somebody said it was you.
I think they,
You-
bro. I don't
you
know.
and like, so in
Hey,
other words,
yo, who was frozen? Was it me
you
or was it Black?
they said I hear you. So I think like you said everybody else in the world was frozen, but you.
Yeah, no, I was the one still talking.
I know.
Yo, yo. Well, anyway, look,
Yeah,
man, check it
yeah.
out. Like,
Um,
yo, man, we have to stop. We are we are to the point. That slave mentality
you kind of
is
going in and
so
out now.
weird with that slave mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That shit. It was TL.
yeah.
What was TL? I was
Frozen, bro.
fuck
You in
y'all. All
denial.
right, good.
You in denial. He
Uncle
said,
T
Uncle
got
T
the
got the
government
government.
Wi-Fi. Yo, I wouldn't doubt it if they
He
tried
got
to.
that wide. He got that wide. At your
I
hat.
said, yo, I gotta, I dropped some jewels back there. Y'all, somebody better go back and pick them up.
All
But
right.
anyway, look,
Yeah, go ahead.
we got to stop, man, with all, cause I know that times is hard right now. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
People are struggling, but let's struggle together, man. You know what I mean? We can struggle together
Right.
without killing each other and without uh you
What's up,
know
E?
harming one another. You
Right,
get what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree, man. And again, I don't know if you heard what I mentioned the first time. And I wish my man E would hop, but E the Poet MC is on tuning in also.
Oh, E,
I
what's
wish,
up, E?
yeah, I
What's
wish
going on?
he'd be to hop on. Because what I mentioned earlier, night, is that when you look back at the people causing, that are out there doing a lot of it, you know, we we protected them from a lot of the hardship and a lot of those struggles that we went through. So did that not prepare some of our youth to handle strife? You know what I mean? To handle challenges, to handle those hard times. So they don't know how to just lick their wounds, get up, and keep fighting through it. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times they hit those bumps and they just lay down, or worse than that, they strike out. They strike out. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah, I do.
wonder.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
So again, I wonder if part of the problem is the fact that we're not preparing. Uh, Society is not as prepared for hardship and gas prices going up because, like you said, I mean, right now times are tough, man. I'm
Times
I'm
are
I'm
tough, man.
I'm putting gas in my car like now. You figure $30 before, you looking at a half a tank.
Right.
Now $30
The
might give you I mean,
car looking at you like spitting that.
oh, I
He's
mean,
spitting that little bit of gas
yo,
out. Like I can't do nothing with that.
I'm getting enough
Yo,
gas now just to make it to the next gas station. You
yo,
know,
they
it,
but see that's they fucking us up like that. All this shit is on purpose, man. You trying to tell me these motherfuckers ain't got gas? They got
they got
gas.
gas.
They
I mean,
got
they got
gas.
gas.
And
I
that
mean,
shit don't have to be as expensive as it is.
now
They
they
trying to
they.
slowly close that pipe and
I'm,
on that, on gas, on food, on housing,
but
all that
listen to this
shit.
tonight. But let me bring it back full circle. But we were the ones before. We've been through so much. Black folk have been through so much in the past that we rebounded from everything.
Oh yeah.
We just knew how to, like you said, pick ourselves up. If you got to move back with mom for a little bit or do whatever needed to be done, we knew how to do that, and we would do
Right.
that. It just
Right.
seems like now, I mean, hate to say it, but we're becoming as Americanized as everybody else, so we're losing our fight. We're losing our grit. I guess is a better way to put it. We're losing our
We
grit.
are, but all this shit is being done purposely, man. Just think about your life. Think about your life personally from what's this year? 2022.
Yep.
Think about your life starting in 2018. Just don't
Mm.
even go farther. Just go even when
Yeah.
Trump was in office. Go to
4 years up.
2018.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could eat.
Mm.
Gas wasn't through the roof.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could work. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now you choosing. Let me see. Is it even worth me going to work? Because
But
I'm gonna spend my whole check in gas and whatever. You know what I
but
mean?
you know
Like
what, Mike? Let me say
it's
this though.
crazy, man.
Now listen to this. Now we have Kim up here, and we have Stephanie. We have E. As I said, Nike, I think that we have to get back to basics. Oh, happy belated birthday, Kim. She just celebrated her birthday
Happy
a few
birthday,
days ago.
Kim.
We have to get back to basics, Nike, because remember what one of the things that we had back in the day was grit and hustle. We had a
Right.
job and we had something on the side so that when times got a little tough, we knew how to make a couple dollars somewhere. We
But they
sold
making it where
dinners.
you can't even put nothing to the side. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
mean,
That's
but
one of the reasons. And I'm gonna
but
have to apologize to Jay and Floyd for this because my finances I found out is getting a little depleted, and I can't even do the Real Brothers Sports shit or
I mean,
the Real Brothers Book Club. You know what I
but
mean? So I'm
but Nike,
trimming fat wherever I can. You know what I mean?
again, and that's what we did. We trimmed the fat first, but we also hustled though. I had my little DJ thing going. I was able to go out there and make a couple dollars with. We're losing our grit. We're losing our grit. We're losing those little things that we knew how to do to go out there and make money. Like I say, E sells his books. He makes music. He sells DVD. He does poetry. Kim sells dinners. You know what I mean? We have to get back to teaching our kids to have something. You need to have something on the side where you could go out there and make a couple dollars because society goes through ebbs and flows. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. And when it goes down, to have something else on the back burner or to have something behind you that you could fall back on to help put that extra gas in the tank, help to keep you sane. Help to keep you safe. And you know what's funny, Night? I'll say this.
And hustle legally too.
Legally, right? Yeah, no. I don't mean the illegal stuff because that doesn't last. But listen to this: when we talk about are we losing our minds, I'll even look at it from my point of view. Right? I'm in a different boat than I've ever been. I'm somewhere. I'm in a strange place. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking around like, okay, can I pick up a gig here and there? You know what I mean? You know, can I get out there and spin? You know,
Right.
This is what we did, and we have to get back to that. You know, we have to
Right.
get back to that because you're right.
That was
You
our
knew-
whole mentality, though. You
That
know
was
what
our
I mean?
mentality. That's right.
Government was
Yep.
fucking us up back then too, but not. I don't think on the same level though. We ain't have a pandemic. We ain't have like
No.
food shortage. We ain't have like, gas prices through the fucking roof.
Well,
You know what I
but
mean?
listen,
It's a
it's
little
like-
different. We still surviving. We gonna
Right.
survive regardless.
Right.
But
Well, but Knight,
You know-
actually, the difference is also we're now the adults, but we don't know what. Actually, our parents are probably feeling the same way, having an electric cut off. I mean, so they were in the same boats, you know, but
Right.
we were the oblivious kids, so we don't know how they felt. Well, actually, I guess we do because
We do.
they're
brought
back
my-
to up against the wall
I
too.
had my son in high school, so I know exactly how that shit was back in the 80s and
Absolutely.
the 90s
Now-
and all that shit.
But now imagine, you know, back then, living with your parents is a little different from having your own spot and your back being up against the wall. Because now you're worried about losing the crib.
But that's
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying. I didn't live with my parents.
Oh, right, exactly,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
yeah. So, but
that shit
so
was a
when you
hurt
say
piece.
it's a hurt piece, and when you say that, they kicking our butts, worse than they were before, it was they probably our parents in the previous generations probably felt the same stress, and families were bigger then.
Right.
It was 6 of us. It was
Right.
I remember,
Yeah. Can
let
you
you go.
imagine having like
No,
shit? Can you
can't
imagine me
imagine.
having 5 kids now?
Nah, nope,
Bruh.
nah. Yeah.
Y'all got to get it, man. We done got in the truck and like y'all got to work. I'd have been bringing back
Yo.
child labor or some shit.
But
man.
again, so you talking about people losing their mind. I mean, I think that we become so accustomed. Like I said, we become more Americanized. Before when a few generations out, you knew that you couldn't depend on the job because you could be let go at any time. The next person could come in and ease you right out with no repercussions. So you had to have something on the side that can put a couple of extra dollars in your pocket.
And I also believe this. I also believe that the reason that we're slowly losing our minds is because of anxiety
Mm.
and fear.
I fear, absolutely.
We don't know what tomorrow is going to look
That's
like.
right. That's right.
You know what I mean? A lot of us, we go to sleep. We don't know if we're going to be eating
Wondering.
tomorrow.
That's right.
Or we don't know if my gas tank going to be able to get filled up tomorrow or when
Right.
my next stop. You know what I mean? And they got it so fucked up where it's almost like it's almost like our
Cancer, yes.
community has a cancer. Like we eat
right.
away at our own self.
Right.
You
Right.
know, just like some sort of disease. You know what I mean? We got to
Yeah.
cure this cancer in our community, man. And if all of us we got to realize we shouldn't be hating on the next man because
Right.
even though he looked like he might have a little bit more than you, he's
Yeah.
struggling too.
Right. That's
So
right.
we should
That's
all
right.
be struggling together.
That's right. Yeah. And
And not-
and it's funny. And the other day, I think it was Friday, I was over East Spot, and they do a little get together, and it's for no other reason but to sit around and talk.
Mhm.
And so to bring the whole conversation full circle again, and that's easy when you talked about why don't we do things to help each other. That's easy. So we need to continue to make it a point to reach out to that person and say, yo, what's up? I was thinking about you, or how you doing, or good morning, or what's on your mind. You know what I mean? We have to do more of that because, like you said, you never know what somebody else is going through.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, man. What we
All
got
right.
up next?
All right, next we got we got are you the person you thought you'd be? Interesting. Durant in Philly. And how do you help people that don't want to get help, that don't want to be helped? We need somebody to click on this also. You
All right,
got
let's go with one a little lighter. Let's do it the rant and
you want
Philly.
to go with the Durant, John? So I thought you was gonna go with are you the person
Yeah.
you be? All right.
Switched it
All
up
right.
on you.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so well, I was glancing across something. I guess since I'm always clicking on the stories, I get little messages, and they were saying, and actually I think it's a done deal now. It's not going to happen, but they were saying that Philly was interested in him, and I thought about it. would you even want him? Would you want him? If
They can't afford Durant first of all because they don't have the capital for him.
but but
Uh,
but but I thought that if Harden and Durant were willing to take a little short, again,
that's
would
what
you?
I'm saying. They
They
not
want their
taking
money.
shorts out this joint.
Yeah, yeah.
And Philly wasn't on the top of his list anyway. He want to
Oh,
go
really?
to like I think it was Phoenix. Yeah, he wants to go to
Wow.
either Phoenix or what was it? Phoenix or
But, but,
somewhere else.
but would you even want him though? I mean, and I'm a
Hell
Durant fan.
yeah, I want
You
Durant.
want him?
Yeah,
Now,
even though his wheels are starting to get it,
right?
he got like 15 years in the league, so
Yeah,
his
yeah,
wheels are
yeah,
starting to get a little going,
yeah.
starting to
I mean,
start wearing
and
down.
and
But he
and,
still
and
got that killer jumper. He's 7 feet tall, so
he does, but again, would bringing him on board because he needs the ball. He needs the ball. He has to be involved with the play. Would he affect the play of Harden, Maxey, and Embiid though?
well,
Because
just think about this: him and Harden ain't gonna win a championship.
who's not?
Durant and Harden,
You don't think
they
so?
had a chance to do that in
Okay, right.
OKC. You
True,
know what I
true,
mean?
true, true, true,
And
true.
then they had a chance to do it in Brooklyn.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
3 times. You know what I mean? What's that shame on you shit? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
same on me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Somebody said nope.
like
Yeah. Now, to be frank with you, I can't sit here and say that I wouldn't want him because he's so dominant, but I wouldn't bend over backwards to get him here.
they need to find a young superstar
They have
up
that
and
though, don't they?
coming.
I think they had that in Maxi, right?
Maxi, yeah,
Right.
but they need more than that.
You mean
James
another?
Harden is old now. He ain't ready to get it done, and I don't trust him in the playoffs.
Wow.
So, like, look at how Golden State did it.
Yeah.
They don't have no first round picks.
Yeah, but they got
Yeah,
two All Stars though, right? I mean,
they found that talent. You know what I mean? It wasn't like nobody expected them to have all stars like that.
right, right,
Maybe they drafted them because they expected it.
right.
But when they first came out, wasn't nobody screaming Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Wasn't
true,
nobody
true.
scream. They
Clay.
didn't turn to the Splash Brothers to like the third year,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Well, I'm not saying yeah because I know
I
the
think
answer. I'm
Mark
just saying I
Jackson
think.
last year or something like that. So
Yeah,
that's what the Sixers got to do. They keep doing all this dumb shit, the process and
mhm.
all this nonsense.
Well,
They just gotta find some good young talent and put that shit together. Just like
I
Memphis, just
I
like
got to be
all that.
honest with you. I think now I'm good with what we have. I think we have to get do something for now. The board at Tucker, did we get it? We got him right. A 3-year contract.
PJ
PJ
Tucker,
Tucker, yeah. Now he the boy
he
that was
good.
about to
He good
rumble and beat all the
defensively. He
time,
be
right?
good on defense.
But wasn't he the boy that was always about to rumble and beat?
Yeah,
Yeah. See, now
yeah.
I think that's what we needed. We needed some heart
He a
in the
dog.
paint.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's
We
a
need a
dog,
dog,
right,
but
right, right, right.
I'm not sure about his playmaking or scoring ability, but he a
Well, see, but
dog. Like,
yeah, but
you know what I
that's
mean?
but that's
He'll fight for you.
but
You know
that's
what I
what
mean?
you
He'll
need. Though.
mix
I
it
think
up.
that's what we didn't have, Nike. I don't think we had that. I mean, look at you talk about Golden State. What's the board name? The third board, not Clay, not Curry. Who's the third? Draymond. Draymond ain't out
Draymond,
there
yeah,
scoring.
Draymond is a dog.
He's a
Yeah,
dog. And Muggs of, I think he intimidates people.
yeah.
And we don't have that. So I think
But they
getting
also
people.
have Wiggins too. You know what I mean? And Looney. They got a nice squad. That's why
Yeah.
they won.
Well, but I think getting Pete
Sixers
and
need
I
to stop playing, man. Give MB some help. He can't
yeah
score 40 every night. You know
yeah
what I
yeah
mean?
yeah.
Come
Now
on,
now
like
I
that
wonder
don't
what
even make
happened.
sense.
What happened to to Maxi? Well, and Harden. How they can't disappear.
Maxie
You
was
can't
balling in
do
the
it.
playoffs. I ain't got
What
no
was
complaints about
okay?
Maxie
I thought
at
he fell
all.
off. He didn't fall off. He
Nah,
didn't fall off at all.
I don't got no complaints of Maxie at all.
Well, I'm not complaining,
Harden, on the other hand, like, come on,
but I'm
like
still
it's
I'm
the
still
same
on
old,
Hard
same old.
Nike, but I'm still Team Harden, man. I still think that with him,
It's
with
the
those
same old,
three
same
there,
old. And then he gonna say, "All right, next year I'm gonna be
yeah.
balling."
Now that's the wrong thing to say.
Wow, you gonna be balling next
Yeah,
year, huh?
that's the wrong thing to say.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
Muggs ain't
wait,
trying to
come
hear
on.
that.
You like Yeah,
yeah,
next year I'm gonna tear
yeah,
this shit. I'm
yeah,
gonna show y'all the old
yeah,
Harden.
yeah,
But
yeah. Nah,
wait,
nah, nah.
whoa,
Right. We
back
want
that.
that now.
Wait,
Yeah,
a couple
yeah,
weeks ago,
yeah, yeah, nah,
it ain't like it was last year.
yeah,
This is a
yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Billy ain't
Like,
trying to hear
bruh,
that. Yeah, that's the wrong
you
thing
was
to
in the
say.
game. You
Right.
what
Yeah. You
what
supposed to
happened?
step up then. Right, right.
Yeah, like come on, man. Don't come on.
Yeah. All right. You ready to move on, man? We got two more left.
Yeah, what we got?
Okay, we looking good. We got, are you the person you thought you'd be? And how do you help people that don't want to be helped? Are you the
Go ahead.
person that you want?
Which
All
one you
right.
want?
All right, let's go with, are you the person that you hope you be? And I'll start off. The reason that I don't know now. I think I've been on this whole introspective kick here lately, man. Because my first thought when we say we talk about that, my first thought was, I'm like, yeah, I think I am. And again, that's not to say that I'm perfect, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe I'm not. And the
You
reason that
thought you perfect?
no, I said not, like, what do you mean I'm not? No. I mean, initially my thought was that if I took a step out and looked at myself and say, okay, I think I'm in a good place. But then the more that I thought about it and again reflected on myself, I had to say I couldn't say yes to that, because then to me, now this is just my opinion, to me that would imply that I think that I don't have a lot more growing to do. You know what I mean? And like we talked about the other day, I think I spend more time now, you know, trying to take those hard looks at myself than ever before. So I think I don't think I'm anywhere near the dude that I thought I'd be. You know what I mean?
See, let me just piggyback on what you just said. The fact that you're reflecting and asking that question, right? That lets you know that you aren't where you want
Right,
or need to be.
right, right,
That's your subconscious.
right.
If it's on your mind,
Mm,
that's the God in you telling you.
get it
We
together.
get signals. We get signals all the
Yeah,
time, right?
right,
We
right.
get we get fed information from the universe.
Mhm.
So anytime you got something on your mind, like you know how you get thoughts out of nowhere?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that shit ain't from nowhere. It's
Right.
from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
And if
just
that's
self-confidence.
what and if you're thinking that, that means that the you the that means that your vibration is not functioning where your spirit wants it to
Hmm.
be.
Right.
You get
Right.
like do that
Yeah.
make I know that sounds
No,
kind
no,
of flaky.
no. I understand
You
exactly
know what I mean?
what you're
But
saying. Yeah. Yeah. Because
that
because it's something not matching up. You
right,
thought you were one place,
right,
and then when you and when I say you thought you were one place, we're not talking about physically. We're talking
right.
about mentally and everything else, emotionally, your growth as a person. And I want to read that person what that person said after I finish this thought. So you're right. It's something's not matching up. You thought you were someplace, but
Right.
then when you took that hard look at yourself, you're like, well, man,
When you
I
step
still got
outside and look at
right.
yourself,
I still
like,
got a way to
damn,
go
I'm
in
in
that category, right?
right, right,
So
right.
it's like I said, I had to rethink that. I had to go back and say, well, man, I'm not.
And it
I'm
doesn't mean if you asking those questions, because I ask myself, like, I don't think I'm perfect, right?
right, right,
But I'm in a good place,
right,
right?
yeah, yeah,
I know where I am. I know
mm,
why I am.
right,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
I know my purpose.
hmm
You get what I'm saying? And I know, like, I know where I'm what I'm supposed to be doing and why I'm
right,
supposed to be doing it.
right,
You
right,
get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. It's
So
about purpose, right?
even that, when a person that goes back to the last topic we had, like people being uh angry
Mm, mm.
or like you know, are
Not
we
too
going
tight, yeah,
crazy? Yeah.
right.
That that comes from people not knowing their purpose.
Mm,
They don't know why they're here, why they
mm,
exist
yeah,
in
yeah,
this miserable fucking, you know,
right,
you get what I'm saying?
right,
So
yeah,
once you figure one once you
clear some of that out.
clear out all that minutia and shit.
Right.
Like
Right.
just and get inside your own self for a minute.
Yeah.
That shit will start coming to you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? The messages is coming to you
Right.
every day. You thinking that
Ignore it.
shit.
Right.
You thinking it, but
And
you
we
don't
ignore it.
act on it. You
Right.
lock
And
it
we
away.
ignore it.
You like,
Yeah.
matter of fact, they got us trained where we'll say, I can't do that shit.
Right. Right. Or I'm
You know
good.
what I mean?
I'm good.
When you can do anything you put your mind to. If somebody else out here can do it, that means
Right.
you can do it.
Now,
You
this
know what I'm
person,
saying? And if you got them thoughts coming to your head,
you got to do something about it.
then
Right.
probably that's your
Yeah. Yeah.
your signal.
Now, this person says, which you is doing the thinking? Now, the second, and I don't know if this is the same
Come
person.
on,
Will they
tell us
elaborate
who
on
was
that
it?
question?
Come on
I,
and
I,
tell
I
us
don't know.
what you
They,
mean.
they then they said, I don't know if this is the same person. They said, is this the teenage you or the
Oh,
10
that's E.
years
Come on,
ago you?
E.
Yeah, I
Come
don't
on,
know
E. I see it.
now, but how can the teenage you, if we're where we are now, how can the teenage you be asking that question? I don't know how you will be able to go back to that. You know what I mean? I think that you can only
The link,
ask
E.
those type of introspective questions based on where you are now. So I think that's again, Nike. That's a good question. That's a good point. That's a part of the growth because you're looking at where you are now and asking that question: am I the person that I think that I would be at this point in my life?
Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying, are you meaning are you are you the person that you thought you were when you were a teenager, or are you thinking are you the person that you thought you were going to be 10 years ago? That's what that means.
No, okay, wait a minute. The question is
Yeah.
okay. Okay, it didn't put it up here. Is this him? The question was,
Yeah.
are you where you thought you would be?
Right.
Right. That's what we were saying. I mean, and when I took a look back, my initial thought was, Terry. He said no T.
No. My bad, E.
hey, hey, I gotta wait to start this. E. Click on the link and give us your thoughts, man. Actually, E, I think E trying to get me back because we had a conversation about hip hop the other day, and he had to admit, like, yes, Stace, I think you got me on that one. So I think he's looking for an opportunity to kind of get me back. But anyway, but no, Nike. Again, I think that I think that you can only ask that question based on where you are now. Okay, or is he saying, am I the person that I thought I was going to be when I was a kid? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
My thought is, am I the man? The question that I'm asking is, am I the man that I thought that I would be at this point in my life? You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when I say when I go back and really think about that, my initial thought, because I was reflecting on, okay, my thought process, my mental state, my stability. If I am where I thought I would be at that point, and I had to say initially I thought yes, but then when I went back I said no, because I think that I still have a long way to go. I don't know if I'm addressing E's question.
And let me answer this question. Am I the person that I thought I'd be? And the answer to that is no. I'm not the person that I thought I'd be. I am much more than what I ever thought I would be.
Wow. What do
Because
you mean by that, Nike?
when I was
You
younger,
didn't think you was
when I
gonna
was
be?
younger, no, I had
No.
no concept that I would
Okay.
even be here. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Just because of
Okay.
the dumb shit that you
So
know what I
you weren't
mean?
looking into the future. You weren't
Not that I
pondering.
wasn't looking into the future, because I always thought that I would be here, be around to take care of my kids, and
Right.
or that, or I would hope that I would be around. You know what I mean? But I wasn't. I never thought that I would be 50 years old or 50
Right.
something years old. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and when, like, there was a series of events, of really tragic and fucked up events that
Mm-hmm.
happened to me, like back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And that I would none of those events I would ever thought would happen to me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. What
And
are they
they
like?
they fucked me up to the point I'm a god. I am a god.
Mhm,
And I know people gonna be like I'm not zero, I'm
mhm,
not two, I'm
mm,
one.
mm.
You get what
What do
I'm
you mean by
saying?
that?
Like I'm the one. That's what
What
I
do you mean
mean.
by that?
Like
When you
what
say you're the
what I
one,
mean, like I'm spiritually connected, consciously connected to the
mhm,
creator
mhm.
because I realize that I am a creation of the creator and I am a part of the collective consciousness of the
Right,
creator,
right.
right?
I mean, but so is that
So
where you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, so it it for me to get to for me point that I am right now.
Yo, I think you're
Like I
freezing up,
said,
man.
there was some tragic events that happened to me with
Right.
losing my son, with me getting admitted to a crazy hospital and
Yeah.
all this shit.
Yeah.
Yo, man, like I had some events that knocked me to zero, right?
Mm. Okay.
I had
Okay.
to, you know
Okay.
what I mean,
Right.
mentally,
Right.
like
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
knocked me to zero.
Right.
So I had to rebuild my whole
Mm.
shit,
Mm. Mm.
right? So now I can talking to me.
Mm.
Do I talk like I
No. No.
always?
No. No. Yeah.
It's like I have a split person, not a split personality. I don't want to say it
Right.
like
I mean,
that,
you're just
but
different. You're different.
but
You're at a
there's
different place.
Terry, right? There's
Mhm.
Terry, and then there's TL.
Right. Yeah.
TL is another mother. Like TL is a different creature.
Right.
Like TL
Right.
is all about the light.
Mhm.
I find myself. I think I am TL like because I am a torchlight. I'm
Mm.
here to light somebody else's torch. I
Mhm.
don't know who that person is going to be. I don't
Mhm.
know when that person is going to be, but somebody is going to see some of the shit that I say,
Right. Right. And get something
and that's
from it.
going to spark something in them.
Right. Right.
That's going to, you know what I'm saying?
So, did you ever
So
think, like, coming up then, did you ever think that you'd be, and to use your term or your word, a torch? Did you ever think you'd be that person that somebody can look up to and get something from and attempt to emulate? Did you ever see that? Yo, did he freeze again? Yo, Nike, I think you froze, bro. All right, I think TL froze, so hopefully he'll get back on. Hey, man, got to put another comment up there so we can bust it up. No, but to go back to something that I said earlier, I think that and Terry brought up a good point. Tragedy and life. I guess I'm always saying life happens. Those things like that. They bring perspective. They could ease you. They could either tear you down and you not be able to come back from it, or like we said, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And and I cannot honestly say, I can't say that I went through my whole life, without going through issues and trials and tribulations and things like that. You know, but my life was different. My life was different. And so when I think back at that, I didn't think that I'd be where I am now and thinking the way that I am, because my life now has caused me to basically reevaluate everything. It's caused me to be introspective and you know hold on or acknowledge faults and different things that I did wrong, that that brings you to this place. I think that's kind of what TL was going with it. All right, now he posted this thing here. Are you the person today the 10-year-old version of you think you would be? Am I the person today that the 10-year-old? You know what? I can't see the name of the person. Okay, that was E the Poet. All right, good question, E. Uh, uh, Terry, yeah, you went off, but let me address this question. E put up a good question. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me now? Yo, you just put the joint up. You came back with the Bin Laden smile. He's frozen like that. E asked, "Are you the person today, the 10-year-old version of you, think you would be or thought you would be?" You know what, E? I would have to say, as far as my thought process, no. Again, no. Because I didn't think the 10-year at the age of 10, I didn't think that I would be living life or, going through the things that I'm going through in life now. That's not to say that the whole thing is tumultuous, but I didn't expect my life to be where it is now. So therefore, I didn't think that I would have to think about the things that I'm thinking about now at the age of 10. When you think about or you project where you think you'd be at the age of 50 when you're 10, you expect things to be running smoothly. But of course, as we say, life happens and you have to adjust. To the point Terry was saying earlier, either you allow those things to eat you up and nip away at you until you're no good to anyone, or you swing back from them. And again, that's what I was forced to do. So to answer your question, E, I'm on the E's questions night. E put the question:
Okay.
Are you the person today, the 10-year-old version of you, thought you would be? And I had to say no, because at 10 years old, I thought at this age, things, life would have been a lot smoother. I didn't, but as we all know, life happens, as you were just going through, life happens and it forces you to adjust and to think of things differently. And you can either do one or two things. You can allow it to consume you and pull you down, or you could think about it and grow from it. But you don't. At the age of 10, I didn't think that I would be forced to think about the things that I'm thinking about. No, 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, E. Yeah, no, I'm not the same person. I mean, where I was 10 years ago, I didn't think that I would be at this point now. So no, yeah.
Right.
He asked the 10-year. No, I
And
didn't.
those dark forces keep fucking with me, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but again, I mean that's living life. Life.
No, I'm talking about with this internet shit. They don't
Well,
want that message getting out.
right. And again, you can either, and I hope I addressed this question. Either you can allow those dark forces to pull you in and pull you, to, take you off the path, or you can face them and grow from them and take that hard look at yourself and and to continue to rebuild. And I think that that's where I am. But I 10 years ago, I didn't think that I would be thinking about this. I thought I would have been at a different place. And you know what, Nike? Let me say this: I'm at a good place mentally.
Yeah.
I'm at a good place. I'm comfortable with where I am, but I didn't think that I would be here though. And
Wait till you realize, Stace. Now I know you listen. I know we had conversations all the time.
yeah.
Wait until it finally clicks in here what you are.
Mm. Yeah. Now now I don't
And I'm not
question
talking
that.
about ego. It
Right,
has
right, right.
nothing
Yeah,
to do with
yeah.
ego.
Right,
Like
right,
you, first of all, in order to be like where I'm at mentally, you
right,
have to let your ego go. You
right.
have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be without ego.
Right.
You know what I mean? You you can't have any. I mean, it's hard. Like it was hard for me to let go of a lot of shit that I let go of,
Hmm.
but I realized afterwards, like I didn't need a lot of that shit
Right.
anyway.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that ego that actually gets in the way of
yeah,
us accomplishing a lot of the shit that
yeah,
we're here to accomplish. And once
yeah.
you realize, Black, that you a God, you such look as it's this thing called as above, so below, right?
Right, right.
God
Yeah,
created everything. He created me. He created you, right?
yeah.
You create everything in your environment.
Absolutely.
You created your kids.
Hmm.
You created your where you live. You
Hmm.
created your experience. You
Absolutely.
created your present. You
Yep.
created your future.
Hmm.
You know what I
And you
mean?
still
You
creating, right?
created your past.
And to live
So
is to create.
that's
To
it.
live, to live is to create.
That's it.
Now,
And people think I be tripping when I say I'm God, right? They
what's
be
up,
like, "Oh,
T?
that's disrespectful. Who did this nigga think he is?" Well,
Right,
like
right,
Kanye said, I just told you who I think I am.
right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Now I get where, and I don't even fuck with Kanye like that because
right,
of the
right,
whole Trump shit. But
right,
I get what he was saying.
right.
I
Yeah,
get what he
yeah,
was saying.
yeah, yeah. And you know what, Nike? Now, when you talk about ego, also, I think coming up, we had to be very egotistical. I think the way that we came up, if you're not egotistical and overly confident about yourself, what's up? What's up, T? If you don't have that confidence, you'll get eaten alive.
You get
So I
eaten
think,
up.
right, you get eaten up. So I think we came in and had to have that. That was I think to a certain extent that was a survival tech. That was a survival technique. Now he
But
said
think
ego
about
was
this. But
go
think
ahead.
about this. You have to have a certain mentality where we grew up.
Right,
And
right,
that's not by circumstance. I mean coincidence, right? That's a circumstance of our environment.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like when people in the suburbs or white folks, they don't have to walk around
Correct. And
with
that's
the
why they lose
ego.
their
You know
mind.
what I
And
mean?
like,
And
but that,
they can concentrate on what it is they
right.
need to concentrate on
But
without trying to front, without trying to, I
right.
got this, I got that, or to try to overly prove yourself
But listen to
in
this
your
though.
hood.
But listen to this. As we said from the beginning, that's why some of them aren't prepared for adversity. So when they get that bump in the road, they lose their mind. And that's what I said earlier. I
Right.
think all too often, or unfortunately, a lot of us are becoming Americanized. That's what I meant by that. We're losing our grit. So when
Right.
those tough times hit, we're losing our minds just like they would be. Road rage. At one time, you didn't hear a lot about black folk and road rage. That was because we just let stuff skate. But
Right.
now he
Now
said
they won't even right.
ego is friend. That's why God gave it to you. Ego makes you buy comfortable shoes. It's the ego out of control that's the problem. There's truth to that. There's truth to that. Ego prevents people from walking over you. It gives you confidence and make you being comfortable being the person that you are. But again, I
But
think
E, there's a difference between buying a pair of comfortable shoes and going out and buying a pair of Gucci loafers, right? Or going out and buy, a
but I
pair
think
of
what he's talking about, we were talking about it the other day because he went out and bought these Crocs. And we were sitting there looking at him, and he was saying, "Yo, Stace, they're comfortable."
oh
So
yeah, I
his
got some
ego is
Crocs right here.
right,
Yeah.
but that's,
That's
that's
right.
and that's what he's saying. His ego is saying, "I'm not so concerned with the way they look. I like the fact that they're comfortable and practical." Ego,
Right. But see,
it
that's
makes you
not ego.
well,
That's a
but no, but
necessity.
no. But your ego is saying, I'm more comfortable. I'm not too concerned about what people think about the way they look. I'm, what
Then
the
that's
reason
not
I
ego.
got
That's the opposite of ego, actually.
no, but ego makes you say makes you comfortable in your skin though, and not too concerned with what the outside world thinks. That's ego. I'm comfortable. I don't care what you
Mm,
think. I don't care what you think. These are
I
comfortable,
guess I
and I'm gonna
nah,
wear
I
them.
don't know if I would call that ego though, because I think there's a difference between ego and confidence.
Well, okay, now
You know what I mean? Like
ego is a
if
sense
you're
of individual
confident,
self,
if you're spiritually confident, and
right?
you like I said, if you know your purpose and you know why you're here,
You're
you know
comfortable
who
in your
you
skin,
are
right?
as a person, that's not ego.
Well, but listen to what he said though. I agree with what he said. Ego is sense of the individual self, and that's what I'm saying. That's me saying I don't care what anybody else says. I think this is the right way to move, so I'm going to move in this direction. Now, I think that if we look at ego in the negative sense, it might sound negative to say that's ego, but that's I think that is ego. You see, okay, T. What's your definition of ego? That might have been what you were just saying. What's your definition
Uh,
of ego?
my definition of ego, and I didn't look it up in Webster or
No,
nothing,
no, no, no,
but
no.
but
We're not.
my personal definition of ego is uh when you want people to look at you a certain way, when you materialistic and you buy things because you want people to think that you got it going on, or
Now,
you know
actually,
what I
Knight,
mean,
I
you
think
you a
that's the
fly
opposite of
dude,
ego.
or
But Knight, I
huh?
think that's the opposite of ego because that's you
No,
doing things
when I'm saying you thinking you the shit because you have materialistic items, that
right.
to me is ego.
But I think again, I think that a person that's a person that's a fake person. I think that an ego.
Yeah.
What do you
I
say?
think that was E said I might need to go to Webster's. All right, let
Right.
me look up ego on y'all
I
real
think
quick.
I think it's the
Ego.
opposite of that, Nike. I think the ego says I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in, and I don't care what anybody else says. I'm gonna wear these Crocs because they're comfortable. They might not look nice. They're not Air Force Ones. They only cost $12 at Walmart, but I don't care because they're comfortable and I'm rocking out with them. I think that's your ego that makes you comfortable enough to do that. That's what I
All
think
right,
ego is.
so it says here in the Webster's dictionary, uh, a person's sense of
It's
self-esteem
self.
or self-importance,
Self.
a
Self.
boost to my ego.
Correct. Right. Self. Self. The person that you describe, Nike, that person is living for others. I'm not the man. So I gotta have the Gucci sneakers and the Gucci belt and all these flamboyant things because I'm not the man, and I want you to think that I'm a man. That person is lacking ego. That person's self-esteem is damaged, so they're living for others. Whereas ego is sense of self. No, I'm the man. I don't care what you're saying. I'm gonna make these Crocs. I'm gonna make these Crocs work because they're comfortable, and I'm gonna wear them regardless of what anybody else, says.
But I
You
just
know,
think that if you worried about that at anyway,
mm,
then that's an issue because that's ego talking. Like when I go to put on something, when I go to put on some clothes or something like that, sometimes I might not even have the same, the same matching colors or some shit on,
right?
because I just put it on because I'm comfortable and I don't care how it looks. I'm not trying to impress nobody.
But that is your ego saying that I'm cool and I don't care what anybody else says. What up, Ferk? But Nike, that's your ego saying I'm cool with man wearing mismatched socks because I'm TL and I don't care what anybody else says.
Well,
That's
well, what is
because
it?
you.
What is it that I'm referring to if it's not
I
ego?
think I think you're referring to what we have out here in society. People that lack that sense of self, so they follow trends. When you always talk about people chasing bags, that's a person that's following. They're doing that because they lack that sense of self. They're not confident enough in their own skin to
Well,
say, I could walk out here wearing anything because, and I don't
right,
care
I
what
hear what you're
anybody else
saying,
says.
but what's the definition? What word would I use to describe that if that's not ego?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. The opposite of ego you talking about then. You're talking about the opposite of ego then. I guess that would be, selfless, not selfless, but lack of self-worth, whatever word you would put on it. That's a person that has the lack of self-worth. Unconfident. Is unconfident a word? A person that lacks confidence. You know what I mean? A person that lacks confidence. That's a person that doesn't have ego. So they live and do things for the approval of others. You know what I mean?
Right. So
See,
okay, so the opposite of ego is humbleness, humility, and modesty.
hmm,
So that's what I'm saying. Like
modesty, the opposite.
I would
Now,
I would just I would describe myself as all three of those: humble, humil. I have humility,
right,
and I'm modest. You know what I
right,
mean? I
right.
I live modestly now. You know what I mean? So
All right.
that's
Now,
what I
first,
mean when I say I let my I let go of my ego. I
now
don't know.
Ferk said you got the ego and the super ego. Ego is the balance of the three. You got the ego and the super ego. Well, okay. I think what I would say about what Ferk said is that a well-adjusted ego is the balance of the three. You don't want to be. That's kind of what he said when he first came on. You don't want to be that superhero dude out there that's you can't learn from others because you're the know-it-all.
Right,
That's negative. That's too
right,
egotistical. But
right,
then on the other side of that, you don't want to be so modest and meek that you follow, you do everything that you can to fit in because you're not comfortable in your own skin. So to what Ferk said, I think that the balance of the three is a well-adjusted ego. you
Right.
know, but all right, Ferk, man,
All
come on,
right, let's
live
kick
on,
this
man.
last. Let's kick this last joint so we can.
All right,
So we can
last topic. All right,
wind down.
we got oh, how do you help people that don't want to be helped? How do you help people that don't want to be helped? What do you think, Knight? It's a good question.
Well, I came up with this topic because I I always hear I always hear the negative about, especially when I'm either at the barbershop or I'm talking to friends or even family,
Right, of course.
we've been doing this for over a year now, right?
Right.
and
Yep.
and I get asked like, well, now you've been doing this for over a year, you ain't got a million followers and you ain't making no money from it.
Right.
why
Right.
why why keep doing it?
Right.
and
Yeah.
and the thing is, like I said, I this is how I give back. This is me giving back to my community. This
Mhm.
is me trying to help other people. Like,
Mhm.
this is me trying to wake up people and
Mhm.
have them, you know, be more conscious of what's going on in the situations that's going on around them. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, uh, and
But
that's my version of helping people. But sometimes, you know, people don't, they it's almost like they hate to hear the truth.
right. I mean, but when people respond the way that they do, like you said in the barbershop, or the people have those negative outlooks, how do you help them then? I mean, what do you do when they say those kind of things? How do you help them? You know what I mean? Because I think that a response like that is a person that's coming from a negative perspective. I mean, there might be some truth to it, but again, you're not making money from it. There might be some truth to that, but again, I still think that's coming from a negative perspective. So
Right.
again,
And the thing is, like I always
how do
tell
you help
people, like,
that
I'm
kind of
not
person?
doing this for the money. We ain't making no
Yeah,
money from this, and that's not that's not the point of this whole thing. You know what I
right,
mean? And like, when you talk about, like, trying to touch people and reach people,
hmm
it almost seems that, like, man, people ain't trying to hear it. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right.
they rather wallow in their own
True,
misery.
true, true.
You know
You,
what
you
I
know what?
mean? And
Now,
and
now,
I just try to show people that there's a way out. I mean, you
right,
know what I'm
right.
saying?
And actually, I was going to say that, night, and that brings it back. And when you talk about how do you help a person that doesn't want to be helped, I think you continue to push forward. Because now I don't think you can't spend your whole day trying to convince a person that doesn't want to get help.
Right. You
You can't
can't.
spend
Yeah.
your whole day because that'll burn you out. That's
Right.
overload. I don't think you can do that. I think you push forward, and
Right.
sometimes people come around. I think, and you know what? Now let me say this. I think one of the ways that you help a person that doesn't want to be helped is be consistent.
Yeah.
Be consistent. When you have that opportunity, give them those little bits of those little
Yeah.
nuggets if you
And
can.
and
Those
here's
teachable
another thing.
moments. Hmm
There's people out here that hate me right now. They
Mm.
they they hate. You know what I mean? They hate the fact that I
That you
am
don't
and I say
wallow.
what I say.
Yeah,
You know what I
and you
mean?
don't wallow. Yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't wallow. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And
yeah,
there's people that actually hate that. They
yeah.
they hate the fact that, like I said, the audacity of me,
Right,
you know, uh knowing who I am. You
right,
get what I'm saying? But
right.
the thing, I'm you know what? Hating me is futile. Like, hating me is wasted energy, because
Right.
the thing is, one of these days they're gonna love me. One of these days, those same people that hate me are gonna love me, just
Some of them
because
will. Some of them will.
they
But you know what,
will. They
tonight?
will.
But
They
listen to
will.
this though. Like we said, sometimes some people don't want to grow. Some people don't want to look in the mirror. Some people don't want to take
Right.
that, have that
Right.
introspective look at themselves. They prefer, as we said, to wallow and to
To
remain where they
wallow in
are.
it. Right.
The
Yeah.
wallow, because that's the easiest path. It would be much easier, Nike, it will be much easier to just stay where you are and to not grow. The
Right.
tough part is to look in that mirror and to try to be accountable for
But see,
yourself
I've
and the things that you
accepted the
did.
fact that everybody ain't gonna be able to go. You
Right,
know what I mean?
absolutely, right.
Everybody
Now,
ain't gonna be able to take that trip.
right,
You get what
right,
I'm
and you
saying?
can't save everybody, right? Yeah.
Right. You
Now,
can't. You can't. And the people that you can't touch, you can't worry about.
that's right. Yeah,
You know
if
what I
they're in
mean?
your
And
circle,
and it's not, I hate to be, I ain't trying to be an asshole about it, but you either get right or you get left. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right,
That
right,
that
right,
that's
right.
that's that's pretty much the gist of it.
Now he had another point. He said, "Tell
Hmm.
them what they need to hear and step off. You may be
Right.
the seed dropper, and someone else waters the seed." Exactly. But you know what?
Facts.
Though, which goes
That's
back to
right,
what you
E.
said in the beginning, Like you said that you view yourself as a torch. So they might, a lot of times, they might get mad because you're shining light on their darkness.
Right.
They're
That's
not
right.
ready for it yet.
But see that I
They're not
know
ready
that's
for it.
what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? That I know that's what I'm here to do. Like
Right,
I don't have any doubt about that. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
And I'm not saying everybody give a fuck about what I'm talking about. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? But I'm gonna keep talking because if I don't put it out in the universe like I'm supposed to, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to.
Absolutely. It was given
Like
to
I don't
you
have any
to do
control
something
over
with.
who
Right.
hears what
Correct.
I'm saying and it
Correct.
sinks in or they understand it or whatever. But it's my that's what I'm here to do and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Now, I think that we have to be mindful of the way to use these terms, that we drop those seeds, because I think you lose people sometimes when you become quote unquote preachy. When, we start thinking that our ego gets too big and we start thinking that we're right. And because we're right and we are, everybody else is wrong. We can't come from it from that perspective, because people are going to get to that point at the moment that they're supposed to. So you got to respect them for where they are. Like he said,
Right.
drop the seeds. Drop the seeds. Some are gonna take it and run.
Right.
Others are gonna say, "Oh, they just seeds and throw them away."
But I'm
So
always willing to have a conversation. If somebody thinks that I'm saying something that they don't agree with, or they're saying something they think I'm lying about, or they say, they think that I'm being untruthful,
right,
I'm
right,
always willing to
right,
debate.
right.
I'm here every Sunday. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Just
yeah,
bring me your facts and
yeah,
we can compare notes. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's
And
that's
it's
not
funny you
even
said that,
ego.
Night.
It's like truth is truth and light is light. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And it's funny. And one of the things I've always said, and it's interesting that you said that. I always say that, I lost my train of thought. I lost it before. I was trying to bring it back. It didn't come back quick enough. No, man. But you have to keep. That's what I was gonna say. I call those teachable moments, and
Right.
not everybody is everybody. Not everybody is up there, because I heard some people say, "I don't have time to spend trying to bring somebody along," etc. And that's not for everybody. But I
Right.
think that's for me. If
Right.
someone wants to engage, I'm going to engage them, because that's the way that I shine. That's the way that
Right.
that's
And
the way
I
that
don't come at
I
people
see.
right. And I don't come at people from a perspective of anger
Right,
or negative energy. I present what I have to present and it's
right,
on you to for,
right,
for how you take it. You know what I
right,
mean? Like I'm
right,
never doing anything with malice intent. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Now, all right. Listen, all right, I'm gonna do something a little different, because I had this
All right.
written down. I know
All
you
right.
did your random earlier. I know we're going past the time. I just want to throw this one thing out,
Throw it out there. Throw it out
and
there, Black.
you can respond or not. But this would because I put it on social media, and I went back and forth with somebody about it. We're talking about the gun legislation. We're talking about Roe v. Wade. One of the things that I said, Nike, is that I hope people,
Oh,
excuse
we're
me,
gonna need another hour.
take this as a take this as an opportunity when they talk about
Hey,
all the
Venus is in
parties are the
Atlanta, so we
same.
could go another hour if you want
No,
to.
no, no, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
All right.
But I hope that people take this as an opportunity to realize that all the parties aren't the same. Because when you're talking about getting rid of Roe v. Wade, Ferk had an interesting conversation about this also. When you talk about getting rid of Roe v. Wade, it was only one party pushing to do that.
That's true.
So, especially with that one, because that's the blaring light right
But
now.
Black,
Yo,
all that shit is the same.
I
All
mean,
that
and
shit
now,
is the
like, I
same.
mean,
And I'm
again,
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, exactly why.
mhm,
Because all the shit that we've been fighting for all these, all these decades, right?
mhm.
We Democrats have been in office, numerous times,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and shit
Right.
hasn't changed.
Well, no, see, but things have changed, Knight.
Shit
No, no,
hasn't
no, no,
changed.
no,
Shit
no, not
hasn't
Knight.
changed. We
No,
still
no.
fighting over the same shit today that we was fighting for in the 60s and in the 70s.
But Knight, we move the ball. Okay, Roe v. Wade. Because let's stay focused on an issue, because I think sometimes we make it so broad and we lose it. I mentioned Roe v. Wade specifically. That came into existence like in the 70s,
Right.
and that legislation or that law had been in effect since that time.
Right.
And it's been one party that came into power that took it away. So keeping focused on that one particular issue there was only one party that was fighting to roll that back. Do you agree
Well,
with
see,
that?
that's what you're missing. The party didn't roll it back. The Supreme Court rolled it back.
But
The
there was a
Supreme Court,
okay.
nope.
And one
Wait,
party,
wait,
okay,
wait. The Supreme Court rolled that
correct.
back.
But
They're
who
not
put
they're
those
not
judges in
supposed
there?
to wait.
Who
Huh?
Republican administrations put those judges in there in order to roll that law back, right? Not a Democratic, no Democratic
Right.
Supreme Court justice that was put on the bench
You're
was
absolutely correct. You're
exactly.
absolutely correct.
So
But
staying
let me
focused
tell
on
you,
that
so
particular
so
issue
wait.
there. The
That
parties are different,
justice that they put on there, right?
right?
Kavanaugh, whoever the fuck
Right,
that
Kavanaugh,
dude, right?
right?
That
Mhm.
was supposed to be Obama's pick.
No, no, no,
That
no,
tells
no, 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 no,
that
no, no, no,
tells
no,
you
no,
right
no,
there.
no,
Yes, it
no,
was.
no,
Yes,
no,
it
no, no,
was.
no, he
Yes, it
wasn't.
was.
No, no. Obama's pick was the dude that's now the attorney general.
But they
Not
didn't. Why do you think he's the attorney general? They didn't let him be a Supreme Court judge because they blocked it.
I see what you
They
said. Correct. He
they
never made it
blocked
on.
it.
Correct.
He
But
was
but
there was supposed to be a Democrat in that seat, and the
correct.
Democrats let that happen. So that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Shit.
All I'm saying
This
is
shit
that
is
though.
all a game,
No,
Stace.
but not all I'm saying is that we can't say that the party is the same because it was a Democratic administration, judges that were pro-life judges that are now on the bench that rolled this thing back.
Who you think? Who you think runs the country? You think the Democrats and the
uh.
Republicans run the country, don't you?
No, I'm gonna go one deeper. I think
Do you?
the people do. The people do, Knight. The people do.
People
The
do.
voting public.
Well,
The
then
citizens
how come?
do.
How come? If the people actually had a say in
Uh,
the in the government, Roe versus Wade wouldn't be overturned because
nah,
they've already proven that
nah,
70% of the people
yeah,
stated that they
agreed.
didn't want that to happen.
But unfortunately,
But unfortunately,
those
they don't give a
Republican
fuck. They ain't give a
administrations,
shit. They like
no,
whatever. We gonna do whatever we want to do.
but those Republican administrations, they put those people in power, and now they're
The
running them up.
Republicans ain't in power right now, Stace.
Yes, those Republican administrations that overturned Roe v. Wade are judges that were appointed by Republican administrations. Those are the ones that overturned Roe v. Wade, not
Yeah,
Democratic.
but like I just said, the Democrats let them put that judge on the bench, right? Right or wrong?
No.
They didn't.
No.
Well, how come Obama didn't pick who he wanted on
He
there?
did. Remember, but that
Why?
it was a Republican Senate led by McConnell. It was a Republican Senate.
So what?
Led,
It's
no,
up
but
to the
listen.
president.
No,
The
no, no,
president's
it's not. No, it's
supposed to
not.
get the pick.
See, now you get
The
now.
president is not supposed to get the pick.
We are,
The
but
president
listen.
is not supposed to get the pick.
He is, but listen.
All right. So now,
Go ahead.
who do you think runs the government?
I said the citizens.
Do you think? You don't
The
think it's
citizens.
the people in the World Economic Forum?
No.
You don't think it's the
Uh-oh.
Bilderberg Group? You don't
No.
think?
Oh,
See,
here it
you
goes.
talking about?
Here comes that hat.
I have done research on these
Here comes that hat.
these what?
We're gonna bring the you know what? Next
The
week
Have you ever heard of the Rothschilds?
I have.
Okay.
Next topic.
You heard of the Bilderberg
Next
Group?
week. Night. Listen. Next week we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Let's
Come
let's
on,
let's
Black. You
let's
know
bring
this
that.
is my shit. Come on,
I
Black.
know,
This
I
is my
know.
shit.
We're gonna
Come on now.
next week night. Next
Come
week
on, Black. You
conspiracy
don't want to do
theories.
that. Come on, Black. You don't want to do that. Come
Next
on,
week
man.
conspiracy
You know this
theories.
is
All
my
right.
shit. Come on, man. You don't want to do that.
All right, man. Let's wind it down, Nike. Let's
All
wind it
right,
down.
all right, all
We
right.
about to get on the road right with this one.
All right,
All right, we
everybody.
closing,
We it sounds like we're gonna have a good one next week too. So,
and I'm burning up.
hey, yo, thank y'all for joining us. You
Yeah, that was
know,
nice.
we love having y'all in our digital neighborhood. Uh, sorry, I had to apologize to everybody who was expecting the Real Brothers Sports and the the Real Brothers Book Club. I'm about to take that off the website soon. It's just that I don't have enough cycles or dollars to support it the way I want to support it. You know what I mean? I don't believe in putting out no junk. So I'm not just going to throw some stuff up there. You know what I mean? I didn't scrap it all together, but
At this
at
point,
this
right
point in
now,
time,
right. Mhm.
it's on the back burner. So as always, like I say every week, love is the new black, and we love y'all, and we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And again, just to echo everything Till said, we thank you for tuning in. Yo, the comments that y'all made today helped. So we really appreciate those comments. Everybody that hopped on, that watched, that said some things, because you bring things to the table that maybe we didn't consider,
Mm-hmm.
and you give
Right.
us you bringing something else out for us to discuss.
And we
So
look
thank you
forward
for
to
the comments.
interacting with y'all.
We
Yeah,
absolutely, that's
that's
a part of
what
the
we that's
dialogue.
why we like to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So in closing, again, thank you for the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to click on the link and not click on the link, but go subscribe on YouTube. We're still trying to get the subscriptions up. We
Oh
hope
yeah,
you enjoy the
please subscribe.
conversations.
Please
Yeah, please
subscribe
subscribe.
and like,
Right.
hit the like button, subscribe and all that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, please,
We
what I
got the
mean, do us
merch.
a favor. Right.
Miss Stevens, thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you back here next week, y'all. Same place, same time.
All
We
right.
love
Thanks,
y'all.
Miss Stevens. She agrees with me. All right, bye.